can. All right. So we're having technology problems. Let me know if you cannot hear me. There was another selection on my microphone, and so I checked the wrong one, and I think that's what's going on. So hello. I hope everybody is doing well. Hopefully I didn't lose too many of you. But let me know if you cannot see me. I know you can see me, not hear me. Hopefully you can. Hey, Kate, how are you doing for the second time in a row? And I think I've been very lucky. Every Wednesday, the last couple of Wednesdays, I've been practicing. So here we go again with another practice. So definitely let me know if you cannot hear me this time. Hopefully everybody else is able to get on. So if you're new to the show, this is Wednesday night, and this is Spirit Knowledge. So what I do is I talk about a topic, and if you have any questions along the way, definitely stop me at any time. But the topic tonight is masks of life. Okay, and we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. So let me know if you are here. So hopefully I didn't lose you. We did a little clip, and my microphone was not working, but here we are. So my husband and I went to San Antonio and had a fabulous time. So I am so glad to be back. Now I need to get some rest from the vacation, if you've ever heard that before. All right. So, and also to let you know, my streaming service that I'm using also I'm able to go to two different places, stream to two different places. So I'm being streamed to YouTube as well. And I have been for a while, but I, finally decided to announce it. I thought, oh my goodness, not everybody will know that you can find me on YouTube as well. It will be under my name though, Michelle Henderson. It's not under Stepping Stones. Okay. So it is good to see you. Let me know if you are here. So let's go ahead and get started about the mask. Now, whenever I put the topic up, I thought they're going to think I'm talking about the mask that we have to wear daily. No, these are different masks. This is more of a psychological. Whenever, everybody, when you want to hide and you don't want to show your authentic self, a lot of times we wear masks. And I thought, during a Halloween, this would be a perfect topic to talk about. And I know kids are so excited. They get to be somebody completely different than who they are. And it is so much fun to watch. And I guess adults too, right? We love to dress up as well for Halloween because we can play a different part. And, we've had in the past, during the Victorian days, they would wear masks to dances and pretend that they were somebody else. But it does become a problem when you're wearing a mask and you're hiding behind a mask and you don't want to show who your authentic self is. So we're going to be talking about that kind of mask, okay? So we're going to talk about how we need to remove these masks so that everybody can actually see who you are. And that is so important. And when I was thinking about also mask, it's almost like the superhero guy, okay? So this is Daredevil whenever he's not wearing his mask. And of course, he has to wear his mask so that not anybody knows who he is when he fights crime, right? But to be able to get joy out of your life fully, you need to show everybody who you are, okay? And so we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So authenticity is freedom from the illusion of fear and alignment to the reality of love. So whenever people do hide behind their mask, it's like, there is fear-based. So you always put this up for protection. And then it's really hard to really truly see who you are. All right, and so let's go ahead and talk about what a mask, what the purpose of it is we wear a mask to prevent our true inner self from being seen. All right, and a lot of times it starts from childhood and it's from trauma, and it is very, very difficult to move forward without a mask, okay? So by hiding your authentic self, you will not be able to connect to others if you feel like you don't belong. So it's very, very difficult to be vulnerable and take away that mask because, it's being afraid. But if you find your true self, you can fulfill and you can belong with others. But how can you connect with other people if we don't actually see who you are, right? All right, so we're going to talk about the things that you can do whenever you need to try to work on removing this mask. So the first thing is become aware of the mask. All right. Stop labeling and preparing to stop wearing the mask. So I know that we go through the whole day playing different parts, having different labels. Sometimes I'm a mother. When I taught school, I was a teacher. I played a different hat, right? And so whenever you're playing these different parts, a lot of times it's hard to show your authentic self because you have a job to do and there are certain guidelines that you have to follow. But whenever you're with friends or with your husband or with your wife, that's or girlfriend or boyfriend, that's where you really need to show your authentic self. And not meaning that you can't do that on a job, but it's interesting when you look at your life, who really sees the true you? Is it your boss at work or is it somebody that you absolutely love in your family? Okay, and that's something that you have to question. But you need to remove the mask. You need to be willing to be vulnerable. And you have to make that choice. Not anybody can make that choice for you, right? You might say, oh, I might try it someday. But it's one of those things that you have to make a pact with yourself to say, yes, I am going to work on removing that mask. And it can be very, very difficult. Okay. All right. So recognize the mask is not you. That's another thing. So you've got to first say, yes, I am wearing a mask, which most of us always do, right? But beware of your limitations, and be patient, courageous, and have company during the transformation. So whenever you are recognizing it and you have limitations, because whenever you're going through this, it's going to be very emotional. Okay. And so you may not be able to show everybody at first who your authentic self is. You might want to start a little bit at a time. Okay. And I know, and just be patient with yourself. If all of a sudden you go back wearing your mask, be patient. Just live yourself for it. Okay. Just start a little bit at a time. Have company. Talk to people about it. Find people that have the same likes or the same similarity as you do, or find that one person that you can talk to so that you don't feel alone and that you connect with, right? During this transformation, I know whenever, and I'll talk more about this in just a few minutes, but when I came out of the spiritual closet, I was actually going Facebook Live and I thought, okay, I'll just go on my business page. And then all of a sudden I start seeing former students saying, hi, Miss Henderson. I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm on my personal Facebook page. I was not willing to go there. It happened. And I'm thinking, you know what? It happened for a reason. So I went ahead and came out of this virtual closet that way. And I thought, I need to show them my authentic self. Of course, I was worn out afterwards because it did stress me out because I was in a vulnerable place and I went ahead and continued with it, right? So, but you've got to be patient with yourself, just a little bit at a time. So know and accept yourself. What do you want? What do you like? What do you want to achieve? And also spend time alone because, you are your best friend. So you really need to spend time alone so that you can really think about what do I really want? Because if you don't really love yourself, how are you going to love? And that's going to be also the next slide that we're going to talk about. Okay. So, but you've got to love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you got to find out why. And also journaling is so helpful to journal. And it's interesting as you go through this process, you get to see yourself change, right? So, which is very, very interesting. Okay. And like I said, go back. It is so much fun to see your own growth. So commit to being you. This is whenever you make a personal contract and you are in it for the haul. Okay. What brings you joy? Don't focus on the past. Focus on who you are. So if you enjoy, doing something, I know that I found, I worked in several jobs that really, I was good at, but they did not bring me joy. And I really had to dig deep. Well, where is my joy? And I had to remember my job is not me. It's separate. from the true me. And so if you do have a job that you're not real happy with, but it brings you money and you're able to pay your bills, you can find gratitude. So I did find gratitude in that area. But I was actually able just to be on my authentic self a couple of years ago whenever I'm no longer working. And so just show your authentic self as much as you can, but you've got to find the joy of it in life, okay? Let go of also believing that I'm helpless, I'm worthless, I'm unlovable. And so you've got to stop that. That's when you got to step in and say, I really like myself. And you can look in the mirror, do that mirror work, right? So be authentic, be yourself, take that mask off, right? And again, find people and surround yourself with people who really believe who you truly are, okay? Now, there is a book that I'm reading right now, and it is fabulous. It's Daring Greatly. And the author, fabulous author, and you can find a couple of her videos on YouTube as well. But her name is Brene Brown. I thought it was Renee Brown, but it's actually Brene Brown. And she does TED Talks, and very motivating person. And she talks about, she's actually a researcher and researches what it takes to be vulnerable and how trusting in it can bring you joy and peaceful, and you get rid of that fear. Sometimes it's fearful to be vulnerable, but sometimes you can get ahead. And she does talk about talking on TED Talk, right? And she was deathly afraid to talk in front of an audience. But you know what? She found out, hey, being vulnerable, and she trusted in the process. All right, so that is one book that you could read if you want to try to remove that mask. But I do want to share a story with you. And this is kind of a personal story. It's really got me, it really was a big impact in my life. But my uncle, and I called him Uncle Ronnie, all right? He was born in the 40s, and he ended up coming out of the closet as being gay. And back then it was so difficult for him to be his authentic self. He had to wear this mask. He got married, trying to hide it, got married to this wonderful woman that my grandparents really loved. And it only lasted 6 years. And then what he did, he started living the lifestyle of his authentic self, but he would not open up. So his parents had no idea. So what he would do is he had a girl that was a friend, and she would pose as his girlfriend. Okay. And it was, and I felt so sorry for him after I found all this out. But his partner at the time said that my grandparents came and visited him one time in New York. And his partner said, I would look through the window because I wanted to meet your grandparents desperately. And when I found all this out, I thought, oh, bless his heart, he could not live to be his authentic self. However, he found a community. He surrounded people that had the same lifestyle, the same, likes, dislikes, that were more towards his soul. And I thought, oh my goodness, what wonderful thing that he did. Okay. And what he actually did is he wrote a book about his life, and it's a fiction. Okay. But the main character is actually based upon him. And so, but look at his title, and it says Unruly Angels. And I thought that was so sad back then, that he felt like he was being an unruly person, living that lifestyle and choosing, to be gay whenever that is his soul speaking. So, but, he would wear the mask whenever my grandparents were there, and then he would take it off whenever they went back home. And I thought, that's kind of sad that they didn't actually see him being truly happy and truly joyful. So his life really made a big impact on my life. I was there whenever he crossed over, whenever he died. And that's one reason why I came out of the spiritual closet, because I thought, my goodness, is if he was brave enough to, surround himself with loved ones, even though he didn't come out of the closet all the way, but he was able to be truthful for himself. then my goodness, I can do it as well. And so I know that, and he was in a vulnerable state and he found the truth and he found joy in life. And I think writing this book, he was able to, gave him therapy, and was really kind of, I think it's still popular and it has helped a lot of people. And so I know that, his legacy will continue. So, all right. So I'm going to leave you with this. Okay. And I love this saying. Okay. There's a mask I wear not to hide my true self, but to hide my emotions so deep that no one can swim through. That mask is my life jacket, saving me from sinking. The moment I take off that mask, I won't only sink, I'll flood the world of many others. All right. So I hope this, helped you this evening, and I hope it heals you this evening. And remember, take this mask. And if this wasn't breakable, I would throw it behind me, but I don't want to break it. So, but anyway, just throw that mask, get rid of it, and get rid of the things that no longer serve you so that we can see your authentic self. All right, guys. So God bless. And I hope to see you on the Monday show, Wine and Spirits. And I'm moving it back to 7 o'clock. All right. So yay. And I'm glad that you're able to hear me. And I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties, but we got through it. All right. So God bless.